The story begins in Antarctica. The year is 1904. A small whaling station sits in the middle of the frozen wasteland. Silent, abandoned. Something's not right. The place feels completely empty. Then we see a man. Running, desperate, he's terrified, looking for a place to hide. He rushes into one of the buildings, breathing heavily, trying to stay out of sight. But it's too late. From the shadows, a terrifying presence locks onto him, a predator. Viewing him through thermal vision, the alien hunter prepares to fire. But before the shot is taken, boom! A monstrous figure leaps from the darkness. The scene quickly shifts to space, where a satellite owned by Wayland Industries slowly orbits Earth. It quietly scans the planet until it detects something highly unusual, a strange heat signature coming from deep beneath the ice in Antarctica. The year is now 2004, and thousands of miles away in Silverlift, Nebraska, inside a Wayland Industries data monitoring station, technicians pick up this anomaly. The readings show a heat source in an abandoned sector of Antarctica, something that shouldn't exist. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, in the mountains of Nepal, Alexa Woods, a skilled environmental technician and survival expert, is scaling an icy cliff. Mid-climb, she gets a call from Maxwell Stafford, a representative of Wayland Industries. He offers her funding for the foundation she works with, but only if she agrees to meet with him. Initially, Alexa tries to negotiate, explaining she would need at least a week to get back. But to her surprise, Maxwell is already there, waiting for her with a helicopter. At the same time, in Mexico, a small village has gathered around an archaeological dig. Sebastian de Rosa, a passionate archaeologist, is busy searching for something important, but instead of a priceless artifact, he frustratingly digs up a soda bottle cap. His boss, fed up with the lack of results, fires the entire crew. Despite the setback, Sebastian isn't ready to give up. He tells his assistant, Thomas Parks, that he will find another way to continue the project. That's when Maxwell shows up, offering him a new opportunity. Soon, aboard a Wayland Industries helicopter, the assembled team flies toward the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica. Among the group is Graham Miller, a chemical engineer who plans to document the entire mission as a memory for his kids. While chatting with Alexa, the team notices that the helicopter passes beyond the usual safety limb, heading straight for an icebreaker ship. Their destination is strictly confidential. Upon landing, the team begins settling in. Graham gets curious about a large forklift and tries messing around with it, but one of the security team members, Mark Verheiden, quickly warns him to stay focused. Moments later, Maxwell gathers everyone in a meeting room for a formal presentation. There, he introduces the true mastermind behind the mission, Charles Bishop Wayland, the owner of Wayland Industries himself. Wayland explains the situation clearly. A few days ago, one of his satellites detected a mysterious heat bloom coming from under the Antarctic ice, specifically from beneath an abandoned whaling station. He shares satellite imagery along with a 3D simulation of what lies beneath. What they see is mind-blowing. A massive underground structure, possibly a pyramid, consisting of hundreds of rooms. Nobody knows who built it, when, or how. The moment the structure appears on the screen, Sebastian reacts quickly. He points out that the design seems to incorporate architectural elements from multiple ancient civilizations: the Aztecs, Cambodians, and Egyptians. That combination shouldn't exist, which leads him to suggest that perhaps Antarctica was habitable in some ancient, forgotten time. Despite how impressive the discovery is, Wayland admits he has no idea what caused the sudden heat surge. What is clear is that the structure is buried more than 600 meters beneath the surface, and they have a small window to investigate it before the ice shifts again. Alexa, with her expertise in extreme environments, immediately raises a concern. She states firmly that to prepare a team for a mission like this would normally take at least 3 weeks, but Wayland is impatient. He warns her that other corporations are already mobilizing. If they wait, someone else will get there first. Alexa doesn't like being pressured. Frustrated, she refuses the offer and walks away from the meeting. A while later, Maxwell knocks on her door with news. The payment has already been deposited in her account. He also informs her that a new guide, someone named Murdoch, has been hired to replace her. Hearing this, Alexa is clearly alarmed. She immediately goes to Wayland, warning him that Murdoch has neither the experience nor the training needed to keep the team safe in a place as dangerous as Antarctica. But Wayland remains cold, calm, and manipulative. He responds with a calculated attitude, indirectly pushing her toward a decision without ever directly asking. His demeanor makes it clear that whether she joins or not, the mission is moving forward. After stepping away to think, Alexa spends some time outside, staring up at the night sky. Some members of the crew approach her, striking up a deeper conversation. They're concerned, not just for themselves, but for the whole team. Two of them gently ask her to reconsider her decision, making it clear that without someone like her, things could go badly. Moments later, the sound of an engine draws attention to the refueling helicopter, ready for takeoff. Meanwhile, far above Earth, a massive, unidentified alien ship silently enters orbit. Inside, several predators prepare for deployment. One of them fires a beam toward the planet, a signal that their hunt is about to begin. Back on the ship, it becomes clear that Alexa has decided to stay. She gathers the team and lays down 3 critical rules for the mission. First, nobody wanders off alone. Second, communication must be constant. And third, under no circumstances should anyone try to play hero. The team agrees. Soon after, Alexa notices Adele Rousseau, one of the mercenaries, discreetly loading a weapon. It raises a small red flag for her. This was supposed to be an archaeological mission, not a combat operation. As preparations continue, Alexa shares a brief moment with Sebastian, noticing that he still has the soda bottle cap from the failed Mexico dig, a little reminder of how unexpected discoveries can be. When the team finally arrives at the target site, they ignite a flare at the top of a cliff. The light reveals the same abandoned whaling station from 1904, now directly above the location of the buried pyramid. The drilling begins. While Wayland, Maxwell, and Graham survey the area, Graham, in defiance of Alexa's first rule, casually wanders off alone, more focused on filming his surroundings than his own safety. Alexa and Sebastian come across whale bones, with Alexa pointing out that the entire population of the station vanished mysteriously over a century ago. No one knows why. As Graham keeps exploring alone, strange sounds begin to echo through the icy silence, putting him visibly on edge. Suddenly, Alexa appears, surprising him, and reminds him, again, that no one should be walking alone out here. Soon after, the group discovers something that wasn't there before, a massive tunnel leading downward. What's even stranger is that the slope is perfectly angled at 30 degrees, as if it were engineered by something intelligent. Wayland confirms that this tunnel didn't exist the previous day. The implications are unsettling. No known technology could carve something like this overnight. Despite the obvious danger, Wayland insists the team descend immediately. Unbeknownst to them, one of the predators is already watching, observing their every move from a distance, cloaked and fully armed. As the team prepares to descend, Alexa notices something troubling. Wayland isn't as healthy as he pretends to be. She confronts him about it, but Wayland brushes it off with a rehearsed speech. He argues that it's only when someone faces death that they truly start to appreciate life, making it clear that he's not stepping away from the mission. Minutes later, everyone begins rappelling into the massive tunnel, heading toward the unknown. As the wind picks up, a blizzard starts forming at the surface. During the descent, Wayland's harness suddenly snaps, sending him falling rapidly toward the depths. Thinking fast, Alexa reacts quickly, using her equipment to save him just in time. High above, the Predator ship hovers silently over the site, completely unseen by the humans below. And with that, the hunt is about to begin. 3 capsules detached and shot down toward Antarctica, crashing into the icy surface below. Guided by Alexa, the team finally arrived at the exact entry point. Lighting a flare, Wayland looked around, somewhat surprised that no other corporations had reached the site before them. When the floodlights turned on, the buried structure finally revealed itself. A monumental, alien-looking pyramid hidden beneath the Antarctic ice. Seeing it for the first time left everyone speechless. Wayland, thrilled, declared that this was their moment to make history. As they stepped inside, the narrow corridors were lined with carvings, depictions of 2 of the deadliest species in the galaxy, aliens and predators. As the team moved deeper into the pyramid, one of them accidentally stepped on a pressure plate. Instantly, an ancient mechanism activated. A massive chamber opened beneath them, and deep inside, a terrifying sight emerged. The xenomorph queen, previously frozen and restrained, was hoisted upright. Electrical currents surged through her chains, shocking her awake. The monstrous creature thrashed violently as she began to stir after what was likely centuries in confinement. Meanwhile, the group continued exploring, discovering more walls filled with inscriptions, a blend of symbols from Cambodian, Egyptian, and Aztec cultures. One particular message stood out, stating that only the chosen may enter. Outside, one of the security team members, gun in hand, noticed strange noises coming from the darkness. Before he could react, a predator, completely cloaked, struck swiftly and eliminated him without mercy. His death scream echoed, drawing the attention of nearby mercenaries, but it was already too late. The predator picked them off one by one, hunting them with brutal efficiency. One of the mercenaries, horrified after discovering the bodies of his teammates hanging upside down, tried shooting at the predator. The creature then deactivated its cloak, revealing itself for a direct face-to-face confrontation. Overwhelming the man with brute strength, the predator hurled him down the incline tunnel like a rag doll. As the dust settled, the remaining 3 predators fully revealed themselves, signaling that the hunt had officially begun, and everyone's fate was now sealed. Back inside the pyramid, the exploration team came across a chamber filled with skeletons lying on stone tables. Sebastian examined the area closely, explaining that they were inside the sacrificial chamber, a place where chosen hosts were once offered. But something wasn't right. The bodies weren't tied down, suggesting that the victims had accepted their fate willingly. Graham took a closer look at one of the corpses and noticed something horrific. The skull and spine had been extracted as a single piece, the signature of predator trophy kills. Suddenly, a strange, distant screech echoed through the tunnels. Graham nervously tried to convince himself that it was probably just the wind moving through the chambers, but deep down, everyone knew it wasn't. Nearby, the team discovered another room completely filled with skulls, hundreds of them. While inspecting the area, a facehugger corpse fell next to Sebastian, startling him. Even though it had been dead for years, none of them had ever seen anything like it. The inscriptions on the walls told a grim story. The chosen humans voluntarily offered themselves as hosts to start the hunt. But Adele Rousseau noticed something far worse. The bones of the skeletons showed clear signs of being broken outward from the inside, meaning whatever had killed them had burst out of their bodies. Meanwhile, the queen xenomorph, now fully awake, began her grotesque egg-laying process. Still restrained, she could not move freely, but her spawn didn't need her to act. The eggs were about to do the work for her. At that moment, Maxwell Stafford discovered a duct leading to another chamber. While he investigated, the mercenary previously thrown down the tunnel by the predator regained consciousness, only to realize that he probably had seconds left to live. Inside the pyramid, the team decided to split up. Some continued exploring side chambers, while others stayed back to document the findings. One group reached a lower chamber located directly beneath the first sacrificial room. There, they found a sarcophagus, locked with an unusual mechanism next to an Aztec calendar. Sebastian studied the markings and quickly realized that the year 1904 was inscribed. Exactly 100 years earlier, he figured out that to unlock it, they needed the current date, October 10, 2004. As soon as he set the dial, the sarcophagus opened. Inside were 3 ancient high-tech predator weapons, the very tools needed for the hunt. Waylon started coughing violently from the cold and stress, and Alexa quickly checked on him. After seeing his condition, she told the group it was time to head back to base and continue tomorrow. But Maxwell laughed it off, claiming he wasn't going anywhere. Waylon stepped in, ordering everyone to follow Alexa's lead, but added one demand. The artifacts must come with them. Maxwell, ignoring all warnings, forcibly pulled the weapons out. Sebastian protested, realizing this was a serious mistake, but it was too late. The removal of the weapons triggered a locking mechanism throughout the pyramid. The massive doors, each weighing several tons, slammed shut, trapping the team inside. At the same time, the predators activated their cloaking devices, immediately shifting into hunt mode. Back in one of the sacrificial rooms, Adele and Thomas were horrified as several xenomorph eggs began to open around them. The slimy, organic casings peeled back, revealing face-huggers, which immediately lunged toward the two. Both were instantly overwhelmed. Their screams echoed down the corridors, reaching the rest of the group. Hearing the screams, Alexa demanded that everyone evacuate immediately. But Maxwell, arrogant as ever, insisted that his team could handle whatever was happening. As panic spread, an emergency stairway revealed itself amid the chaos. The group had no choice. They rushed toward it. Graham nervously commented that the heat source detected earlier probably wasn't from natural geothermal activity. It was more likely something else, something alive. On the next level up, Adele suddenly woke up, only to find a facehugger corpse lying right next to her. But it was already too late. An intense, stabbing pain erupted in her chest. Seconds later, a chestburster violently exploded out of her body, leaving her lifeless. Elsewhere, the predators made a tactical decision to split up, hunting more effectively. Meanwhile, Maxwell and his remaining men stumbled upon a massive statue of a predator, with one of the stolen weapons displayed on its shoulder. The implication was clear. Ancient humans had once worshipped these creatures. But before they could process what that meant, another predator ambushed the group, killing one of the mercenaries in seconds. The others tried to fight back, But at that exact moment, the pyramid's walls and floors began shifting again, transforming the entire maze layout. The predator quickly leaped away, disappearing as the mercenaries scrambled in panic. One of them got crushed under a moving wall. Graham and another mercenary found themselves trapped together, while the rest of the team was cornered in different areas of the pyramid. One of the isolated survivors, hearing something in the shadows, desperately aimed his gun, but before he could react, something lunged at him from the darkness. Meanwhile, Graham and his companion knew exactly what they were dealing with now, and they also knew their chances of survival were rapidly approaching zero. Meanwhile, Wayland noticed that the weapon dropped by the fallen mercenary was still functional. Tensions rose as Maxwell, frustrated and angry, lashed out at Wayland for keeping quiet about the man's death. Sebastian took a closer look at the Aztec calendar markings and proposed a theory. The entire structure shifted every 10 minutes, based on numerical cycles common in ancient Mesoamerican systems. He was right. Soon after, walls began to slide and floors shifted again, even in the area where Graham was stuck. With new corridors opening, Graham and his companion got separated. The mercenary, hearing something strange, found his fallen comrade's weapon, now covered in thick alien slime. Startled, he ran, but fell through an open trap and injured himself landing on a lower level. Graham promised to help, but the mercenary froze when he realized he wasn't alone. In the dark, he opened fire on the approaching xenomorphs, but was brutally killed. Graham heard the screams, and before he could react, he saw a xenomorph sprinting toward him. He was killed moments later. Elsewhere, Maxwell, now visibly exhausted, dropped the stolen predator weapon. When he picked it up again, he hid it inside Alexa's backpack, hoping to avoid attention. From a distance, two predators watched. One activated his cloaking device. The other launched a net, trapping Maxwell. As his teammates rushed to help, a predator arrived, violently tossing them aside before impaling Maxwell with a spear. The second predator charged toward Alexa, knocking her down. But suddenly, a xenomorph attacked, catching the predator off guard and skewering him from behind, lifting him off the ground. The alien and predator faced each other for a split second. Then the xenomorph finished its kill. The last remaining predator, Scar, saw everything and engaged the beast in a ferocious battle. The fight raged through the chamber, walls shaking as Scar threw the alien across the room. But the xenomorph retaliated, its acidic blood forcing Scar to shed his damaged armor. As he searched for his opponent, the creature leaped from above, and the two clashed again. Scar deployed a contracting net, pinning the xenomorph to a wall and injuring it badly. But just before he could finish it with a final blow, the creature broke free, countered, and killed Scar's partner, letting out a chilling roar that echoed across the pyramid. Elsewhere, 3 surviving humans tried to catch their breath. As Wayland began panicking, a predator approached. Wayland, understanding the threat, ordered Sebastian to save Alexa. He stayed behind to buy time. The predator scanned Wayland and discovered his deteriorating health. For a brief second, the creature hesitated, but when Wayland struck with fire and opened fire, the predator retaliated without mercy, killing him on the spot. Sebastian and Alexa regrouped and ran for safety, but their conversation alerted another xenomorph. As the 10-minute cycle completed, walls began shifting again. Barely escaping, they slipped through just before being trapped again. The last predator, Scar, encountered a facehugger and sliced it in half. Then a xenomorph ambushed him. He responded by decapitating the creature with precision. Removing his helmet, he revealed his true face. From behind a panel, Alexa and Sebastian watched him take the acid blood of the facehugger and burn a symbol into his armor. Sebastian realized what was happening. The entire pyramid was a proving ground, a coming-of-age ritual for young predators. They were not meant to have their weapons from the start. They had to earn them. The hieroglyphs explain more. Thousands of years ago, the predators came to Earth teaching humans how to build civilizations. They were worshipped as gods. Every 100 years they returned expecting a sacrifice. Humans were used to breed the ultimate prey, and the young warriors hunted them to prove their worth. If they failed, they destroyed everything, entire civilizations, to keep the infestation from spreading. The heat signature that had drawn Wayland's team was a trap, a beacon to lure humans into the pyramid. Elsewhere, Graham briefly woke to find other teammates alive but already impregnated. He spotted a weapon on the wall and used it to kill a facehugger just in time. But with no ammunition left, his luck ran out. Sebastian and Alexa found themselves cornered. They knew the next wall shift might be their last. Alexa vowed to use the predator weapon if it came down to it. Just then, Sebastian's watch beeped. The structure was shifting again. A new hallway opened. Alexa decided it was time to seek an alliance with the predator. Hearing noises, they ran through the corridor and came to a broken bridge. They jumped together. Alexa nearly fell, but Sebastian saved her just in time. Before they could react, a xenomorph dragged Sebastian away. Alexa, now completely alone, had no choice but to keep going. Eventually, she encountered Scar. She dropped her backpack and returned the stolen weapon to him. Scar took it just as a xenomorph pounced. Alexa grabbed a fallen spear and stabbed the creature through the chest, killing it. Scar rearmed himself and fought multiple aliens head-on, eliminating them one by one. The queen, still restrained, let out a deafening roar, calling her spawn back. Scar retrieved his spear and moved forward. Alexa, realizing they now shared a common goal, decided to follow. Though Scar was reluctant, he noticed Alexa's xenomorph kill, and in response, he ripped off the creature's head and used its body to craft new gear. The acid-resistant materials allowed him to fashion a shield and a spear, which he then handed to Alexa. She accepted, joining him as an ally in the hunt. Meanwhile, the queen, furious, was breaking free. Her spawn used their acidic blood to melt her chains. Scar and Alexa explored deeper into the structure. In one room, they found Graham's body, split open from the inside. Alexa picked up his pistol, then heard something. She discovered Sebastian, now pinned to the wall, impregnated. Scar prepared to kill him, but Alexa stopped him. At Sebastian's request, she mercifully ended his life. Scar, silently acknowledging her strength, killed the alien embryo inside him. Deep below, the queen finally broke free, unleashing chaos. With eggs everywhere, Scar activated his self-destruct device. He and Alexa fled through a tunnel as the bomb detonated, obliterating the entire hive. They barely escaped the blast zone, but the ice beneath them began collapsing. They ran, leaping to safety just in time. Facing the vast crater, Scar removed his helmet and marked Alexa's face with acid, branding her as a warrior. She accepted without fear. Then, suddenly, the queen burst from below. Scar threw his blades, wounding her, but she countered, hurling him. As the queen lunged at Scar, Alexa intervened, distracting her. Scar recovered and pierced the queen's skull with his spear. They tied a heavy chain to a collapsing structure. As the queen attacked again, she impaled Scar, but he held on, dragging her off the edge. The queen fell into the icy depths below and disappeared into the freezing waters. Alexa rushed to Scar's side. He whispered something before taking his final breath. Suddenly, a massive predator ship uncloaked above. Elder predators descended. Seeing the mark on Alexa's face, they acknowledged her as an honorary warrior. They took Scar's body aboard. The elder handed Alexa a ceremonial spear, a sign of deep respect. As the ship departed, Alexa turned to make her way back home, but unknown to everyone, something had been missed. Scar had been impregnated by a facehugger. Inside the predator ship, within his corpse, a new, terrifying life form was ready to be born.